Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be discussing whether you should sell or hold the Jordan 4 Rare Air. And let me just tell you now, this is a situation that we've never yet seen before. The Jordan 4 Rare Air releases tomorrow, July 26th at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Nike sneakers and other retailers. These drop for $220, and there's a whopping 122,000 pairs on Nike US alone. But that's not the end of the story. There's more to it, which I'll explain in a little bit, because only 1/4 of the stock is going to have the gold tongue tag. In order to determine if the Jordan 4 Rare Air is going to be a fruitful hold, we will be covering an estimated range of what the sneaker will settle at after the drop, and also when shipments come in, essentially the pair is going into circulation, whether they're expected to increase post-drop or even continue to decrease, along with how much specifically over specific periods of time, and finally, what type of margin are we looking at for these in terms of holding, not the retail to resale initial margin, but rather the hold margin over X period of time. Basically, even if they do go up, are they going to be worth your time or not? Kicking it off, let's discuss the estimated range that these should be settling at. Total stock for Nike US alone is 122,000 pairs. That is an absolutely huge and very surprising number, considering the Jordan 4 White Cement had 90,000 pairs on Nike US, and even that was a really big drop too. Honestly, I don't know what Nike was thinking with this, because this is a shoe that a lot of people are going to end up returning if they can't resell it. And obviously, a lot of people who are not happy that they didn't get a gold tongue tag pair might just end up returning it. It's going to cause a lot of problems for Nike, so I have no idea what they were thinking making this such a high stock pair. Anyway, if 1/4 of the stock has the gold tag and the rest is a silver tag, we can estimate proportionally that there's about 30,000 pairs with the gold tag releasing on Nike US alone. And even that is a pretty decent number. It's about the same stock as the Jordan 3 Soul 2.0, which actually ended up breaking. I think those had about 35,000 pairs. Now, consider this isn't 30,000 pairs of a completely different sneaker. It looks exactly the same as the other 90,000 pairs, aside from the gold tag. That's the only difference. And this means a majority of the general demand is going to overlap between both sneakers. Most regular consumers do not care. This is mostly for collectors. Is that enough demand to make these perform very differently? I'd say yes, but not by a crazy amount. As for general demand, it doesn't seem too impressive, even on the gold tag pair. Sale volume is far lower than what we saw in the White Cement, for example, a colorway with far more demand, obviously, and bids don't seem too impressive either. As for the gold tongue tag pair, currently sizes 8 to 12 in men's are at an average of $283. At a retail of $220, at best, even at these prices before the shipments go out, you could only make brick profit to lunch money on the large sizes, depending on if you have tax and if you sell on or off platforms. As for the silver tag pairs, those are already bricks, and I expect them to remain so, and for that reason, we're not going to be discussing them. We're just going to be discussing the gold tongue tag pairs. Now, after they drop, we often see a positive impulsivity effect where prices often jump around 5 to 10% on average. When it comes to these, because of the very high stock and lackluster demand, I'm not expecting any positive impulsivity effect even on the gold tongue tag pairs, especially because during that time period, a lot of people are going to be thinking, well, I might have a gold tongue tag pair. I have to wait till the shipment comes in and then I'll see. And this is going to make more sense later when we talk about shipments. If anything, I'd expect prices to potentially fall a little bit further, but we'll leave it at no change just for the calculation. We might see something interesting happen later though, and that's the shipments. Now let's discuss what price will look like once the shipments go out in the 2 to 3 week range. During this period, the vast majority of pairs are going to be going in circulation. Normally, we see a 10% decrease in value on general releases. As for the silver tongue pairs, I would expect this, but the gold tongue tag pairs might be a little bit different, and here's why. They may actually hold the same value they do now, meaning no further drop in price, because the additional pairs in circulation may be offset by the influx in demand from people realizing that they did not get a gold tongue tag pair, because they won't know for sure until they actually receive the pairs. For that reason, I'll leave this also at no change, still leaving these at the same average of $283. Now that the average price range at those points in time are evident though, let's discuss whether they're expected to increase or potentially continue to decrease after the shipment. While Jordan 4s used to be pretty reliable holds in the past, that hasn't been the case recently. The majority of general release Jordan 4s have either remained the same or even continued to decrease in value. Unfortunately, I'm expecting the same fate for these due to their very high stock and subpar demand. Unlike the White Cement Jordan 4, this isn't really a classic colorway. They look nice, don't get me wrong, but I don't think think that's enough to make these appreciate, at least for a year and potentially even more than that. Finally, regarding the hold margin on these, essentially, are they going to be worth your time, even if they do go up? If they don't increase for a year, then of course there is no positive ROI. In the best case scenario, I can see the gold tongue pairs increasing only by a marginal amount, meaning even if they do go up, the ROI isn't going to be that great. And so overall, I'd rate these gold tongue pairs well below average still at 3 out of 10. I don't think these are going to be a good hold, and I wouldn't even expect the silver tongue pairs to be profitable. But all of this could change if the statement about 1/4 of the stock being gold not being exactly true. If it's actually far less than that, then everything might be different. I'm just going off of what we know. If you're watching this before the drop, good luck if you're even going for them. And for much more profitable opportunities, consider reselling Pokemon, guys. It's been popping off like crazy, and there's been a ton of very, very profitable drops this last week alone. It's been absolutely insane. Check out my Pokemon channel if you want to get started on that. I make free videos. Why not check it out? Other than that, though, have a great rest of your day.